Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Leone, and tonight I will be talking with Gianna Martello, Abby Lee Miller's assistant choreographer for Dance Moms. You won't want to miss this. Stay with me.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Dance, dance, dance. Hi guys, I'm here with Gianna Martello.
Hi.
Hello. We're so excited to have you in studio.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV. And you can follow Gianna if you don't already.
On Twitter at Gia with 2 A's, Bella.
And where can they find you on Instagram?
G Martello 22.
Perfect. All right, so how are you today?
I'm great. I'm awesome. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, so you have a crazy, crazy, crazy schedule.
I know. I can't believe I haven't been here yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm the last one.
You are the last one. I got you. So we're here on a Monday. You guys film on Tuesdays.
Yes, we do.
And we film our after show on Tuesdays. And everything happens, I guess, on Tuesdays because Dance Moms airs.
Literally everything that goes down on Tuesdays.
So can you tell me a little bit about your schedule and everything and how it's been in LA so far?
Well, I'm here today because we have off on Mondays.
Yeah.
So finally.
The one day.
The one day. We're dark every Monday. We have interviews on Tuesdays, which I don't do that often. We also have our creative meetings for the week on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So that's when Abby and I will sit in with the producers, like the creative team, and figure out like the themes, the music, who's doing solos, duos, or trios, who's in the groups, and go through all of that.
Wow.
We start filming on Wednesdays. Pyramid takes like all day to film.
Does it?
Literally for what? They show like 10 minutes maybe on the show. It takes all day. I get about an hour of rehearsal on Wednesdays.
And rehearsal for Dance with the Kids,
Yes.
right? Okay.
With the, we usually just start with the group dance.
Okay.
Just because it's an hour, just to like kind of get them familiar with the music and stuff. Thursdays, we have about 4 hours. And then Fridays, if we travel, we have no time. And if we are local competition, we have like 3 or 4 hours.
Wow. Okay, then competition is Friday.
It's Saturday.
Okay.
So
all
like
right.
when it says that we have a week, we literally have like 7 or 8 hours maybe.
And you don't...
That's a week in Dance Moms time.
That's so crazy, too, because I'm thinking that you're dancing all day.
No, we can't because
Yeah.
they're kids.
Yeah. So
we
child
can't
labor.
work that long, which is good for me.
So you're not working if you're not working with the kids then?
I am still teaching at the studio. So after we wrap, I do teach classes
Oh.
to the other kids that attend the studio and the other competition team members.
Oh.
Because the studio still runs after we stop filming.
Right.
So I do work after the show, too.
And I always wonder, though, how life is different from what they show and what actually happens, you know, in a day-to-day
like
life.
When and like if I ever get the chance to actually sit down on a Tuesday night to watch the show, I'll sit there and be like, what is this? Like, what did they do? Like, what happened?
Is that the editing, mostly?
I guess I'm never like with the moms, or I don't know what kind of story they're, following or creating out there.
Really?
I'm always with the kids. So whenever I actually see it all come together, I'm like, oh, that's what they were fighting about. Or, oh, okay, the connection, I get it now.
So you're so kind of not even in that dance mom world.
No.
And you think
Rarely
Okay.
I get dragged into, some of the stuff. But I try and stay with the kids if I can. I'm safe there.
I don't blame you at all. Those moms sometimes are crazy.
They
I
can
won't
get
say-
crazy.
Yeah. So you have been at the ALDC for a very, very long time.
Since I was 7 years old.
Wow. But you've been dancing since you were 4.
Yes.
Okay, so you were dancing someplace else before ALDC.
It was just like in a little like church basement. I took like ballet and jazz. I told my mom I wanted to take acro. And she looked it up and she found the ALDC. We went upstairs in the mezzanine and watched an acro class. And my mom had danced. My grandma danced. Everyone in my family danced. So my mom knew what was good and what wasn't good.
Okay.
Like she knew good teachers from, not as great teachers.
Right.
So we went in, we watched the acro class, and she's like, oh, this is the place you're going here.
She saw Abby.
So
and
it was
she's
like
"That's
that.
it."
Like she knew that, it was good training. Abby was like spotting kids going down the mat. there were 2 other additional rooms with full classes going on. And, you know, she said, if you really like doing this and want to take this seriously, then this is the place to go.
So comparable to every other place in Pittsburgh, that was the place that you went.
Yeah, if you wanted to train and really, really take dancing seriously,
Okay.
Abby was who you wanted to train under in Pittsburgh.
And that was well known. Everyone knew.
Everyone knew that, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Did people travel to go to be with Abby?
I can remember there being some girls that I danced with that came in from Ohio, from Youngstown, Ohio, which is like over an hour away.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Some people came from like, when I got older, some people came from like central PA that drove almost like 2 hours. And, you know, like in the snow, that's awful.
Oh, no, that's miserable.
But they wanted good training, so.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's your career. And how long did you do acro for?
Till I graduated, you had to. Because once you were on the competition team, you had to do everything. Like you trained in all styles. You couldn't pick.
Wow.
Which benefited all of us, obviously. Yeah.
So since you were on the competition team when you were younger and you're watching these girls now, how is it different from when you were young?
I feel like, I mean, it's really the same.
Really? Okay.
Our moms, well, not my mom, but I always say I would have never been cast on the show because my mom didn't say a word.
Really?
Like, my mom's not crazy. But I did have girls in my group that had crazy moms.
Yeah.
Like, Abby always says this, like, she could have done this show with every group that came through her studio. Like, my competition team was like 5 or 6 girls that Abby kind of took under her wing and traveled with and did everything with that you see on the show, just minus our moms. So I think that's how we got so close to her.
Yeah.
Because she always wanted to take us herself.
That makes sense.
Or like if we went to New York, it was her and then all of us in her car. Like our
Right.
moms like never went.
And everyone just trusted Abby.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like, okay,
yes,
go.
yeah.
I thought the moms, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that they were required to be there.
For
Like
the show.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought, though, that that's the reason why they started the show is because the dance moms had to be there.
Well, those dance moms that they started the show with were always there. Like they were very, very involved with their kid.
So they were very...
My mom would like drop me off at the door and be like, have fun tonight. I'll pick you up at 10, 9:30.
All right. So it was a choice then for all
Yes.
those people. Okay.
And they took it upon themselves to sit upstairs day in and day out and, you know, be so involved in their kids dancing.
See, I thought Abby made the moms be there and say, you have to watch your daughter. Oh, see, inside scoop with Gianna here. Wow. So that's incredible, though. I'm trying to think on you growing from 7 till now, and you're 27,
Yes.
right? So that's
Oh my gosh, I've known
20
Abby for
years.
20 years.
You've known Abby for 20 years. Did you think that you would be working with her?
No, never.
Never? But she was like your
We
second
always
mom.
like got along though, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I can remember her being tough. I can remember her like yelling at us, and you know, like we'd have some crazy times, but never anything like awful or never anything that like made me like want to leave or quit.
Okay.
You know,
No,
it was just always
situations.
like pushing us, you know, to be better.
Which that's what I think she does, and she knows the right way to
Yeah.
get you to whatever
For sure.
that is
She's
that
a
you want
tough
to
coach.
be. Yeah.
I mean,
when you were young, what did you see your career though as? Like, did you want to be a dancer? What were you thinking?
yeah, I always wanted to be a dancer. I knew that school wasn't like my thing, but I did go to college, and I definitely did want to dance. I didn't realize I was so into, you know, choreography and kind of making that my niche until probably like 15 or 16.
Okay.
When I would assist Abby, and I really enjoyed just like creating with her. I would assist her by at first just like playing the music for her, and I would sit in the rehearsals and learn all the routines and just, you know, hit play, go back and play that again, hit stop, hit play, and then I'd like get up and show a step, or she'd be like, come demonstrate this, like they can't do it, and she just gave me like more and more, you know,
Responsibilities and time. Yeah.
And so she'd like leave the room and say, just go on with whatever I just did. Just take over from here. And she'd let me kind of put my own little thing into it, and just more and more responsibility. And I was creating my own stuff.
That's so cool. I think she did that to you just subconsciously so that you didn't know that what you were doing until you're like, wow, I just did this.
And I don't really think that that she's ever done that with anyone before, because when I grew up dancing, it was her doing all of my solos, all of my group dances, like duos, trios. She choreographed everything. So she never like had an assistant. She never had like other people come in and choreograph. I mean, like rarely, like other people from out of state, but no, she never like had an assistant before.
I was going to ask that. So she put a lot of faith on you.
Yeah.
Were you the Maddie in your group?
People always ask me that.
Do they?
I think I was the Maddie in the sense that like I knew the music. I was so into like the musicality and like learning the counts and being like so specific. But I wasn't the Maddie in the sense that like I won.
Okay.
Like I was always in like the top 5 or top 10, but I was never like first place. I don't know that we even had one of those in my group.
Okay.
But I can remember me being the Maddie in the sense that it was like she's off or like she's on the wrong timing or like just trying to make the group like perfect like together.
No, and that makes sense. You want to be great as a team.
Yeah.
So did you? There was several things you said in there that I was like, wait, oh my gosh, this question. So you choreograph basically everything, though, for these girls.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And Abby let you just take the reins and go for it. So when was the first time, though, that you were able to sit down and just do everything for the girls and put it on stage and just sit back and be like, wow, that's what I did?
There was one week, oh my gosh, I can't remember what season it was, but it was the first week that Abby I think she was in Florida. It might have been something like her mom or her dog or, something that she was elsewhere.
So this was on camera, though?
This is like the one time I can like really, really remember that this happened. And she was away for the week. And so she kind of just left me with the girls. And it was a Maddie solo. It was a group dance. And I think there was like 2 more routines. I don't remember really what they were. But I had like picked the songs. I had to like pick the costumes, like, create the whole thing and then compete them. And it was on camera. Like it was for the show. And I was like, oh my God. Like, cause Maddie like never lost. Like, I'm like, if Maddie loses, like, oh my God, this is like, if this group loses,
yeah,
she's gonna kill me. Like, and they did it. And they went on stage and I remember Maddie won and the group won. And I was like, whoa.
Wow, you did it.
Yeah.
Did Abby put a lot of pressure on you guys to win as much as she does now?
I can never remember her being like, you have to win. But it was always like extra rehearsals, like making sure like we were dressed properly, making sure like we had the right earrings, the right hairdo. Like it was just like preparing us as much as she could.
She cared. And she wanted to be the best you could be.
Oh my gosh. That's like what I always tell people. I'm like, she's like one of the most generous people that I know.
Oh, really?
Like, she'll go to the mall and buy stuff for every kid and come home with nothing for herself. And, like, people don't see that. Like, people don't see the fun stuff like that on the show.
They don't put that on Lifetime. They want the drama.
Whatever they want.
Well, a lot of times, I mean, we watch and break down the show, and for a while it was just me. Now I have a panelist. But, I talk with a lot of people on how they just focus on the moms a lot, and they've seemed to be doing that more so than anything else.
And that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, but a lot of people love the show and love competition dance and want to see competition.
And want to see the kids
on TV. Yes, and no one really cares to see Jill and Jesselyn screaming, But
you can only hear that for so long,
right. Well, now JoJo's gone, and Jesselyn. And that happened so fast.
Yeah,
we were not expecting that.
We weren't either.
And there's been a lot of turnover. Has there been a big turnover in the past before the show? Before Christy left and all of that?
I think she was the first one to really go.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Or was it Kelly on the show? Yeah.
Well, yeah, Christy and Kelly. But I'm thinking, though, in the past, like you said, you were there, even in your teen years, and I'm sure that there was tons of teen drama and lots of...
Oh my gosh, there was. I can remember... it was probably like when she was 14 or 15 and like our group lost like one of our main dancers, and that really like took a toll on Abby. And then I can remember I had graduated already, but Abby lost another one of her like star dancers, but like for like school reasons or for like something else.
Okay.
And it does take a toll whenever you like lose someone on the team.
Yeah.
And I feel like now what's taking a toll on us is we have so many cast members in and out. Like they're trying to add new people here, new people there, take these people out. This girl has this, and I'm like, we need like a team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And America needs to see a team, because I'm like, I can barely remember these new moms' names. How is America going to remember them?
Well, we were actually talking about that with the minis, and it's really hard to kind of match up the moms and the minis just yet.
Oh, where do you
and-
see what they're doing now? Oh.
Oh my gosh! So they are back, and they're doing
Some of them are back.
Okay, we don't know which ones. We'll have to watch the previews for the next and be like, all right, we see her. This one's gone.
Some of them are back.
Oh, so has Abby ever done that? Paid attention to two big competition teams at the same time, like minis and the elite team?
Whenever I was growing up, there was like 6 competition teams.
Oh, so
Like,
she's used to
she
this.
I think her biggest, like, her company grew up. I was probably like 12 or 13, and her company was like almost 150 kids. Her competition team.
Wait, just competition kids? And
So
were
the
they-
studio is a whole nother like thing. Like, the studio
Okay.
is so many more kids than just, you know, the 6 or 7 on the show.
Okay, and is she still running the Pittsburgh?
Not the
location?
Pittsburgh one,
Okay.
the LA one.
Okay, so she still has the one in LA.
But like we have like 4 teams, I believe now we do 4 competition like age groups at the studio, and then like the TV show kids. So that's like so if we'd go to competition with everyone, like that would be 5 different teams.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. That's just so crazy to me, because there was so much pressure this season on Abby being sidetracked by the minis and not spending too much time on the girls. But she's always done this.
She's always done this. And I think the minis, like I like the idea of them. Like, I'm not opposed to another team at all. It's just we don't have more time in our day.
Okay.
Like our filming day.
Yeah. Okay. For
You know,
the show.
For the show.
But for everything, you're okay.
For everything. And like, if it would be in real life 2 teams, that's normal.
Okay.
But in the hours that we shoot, like 4 hours a day, 2 teams is really difficult.
Okay, so that does make sense then. Why the moms are so
That's
mad.
that's where they're coming from. That we only shoot 4 hours a day, so now we have twice as many routines.
That makes a lot more sense, because
you
watching
go.
it, it's like, wait, why are they so upset then?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you said back when you were talking about Abby losing students, another thing that was huge in this season was losing Maddie, and it just took a big toll on Abby. And
It did, yeah.
yeah, but knowing that she's felt this way for other students, it's not just Maddie the
Right. No,
the
my gosh. No. I mean,
yeah.
it happens to every dance studio.
Okay.
Like, I know so many teachers that, you know, like their star student goes to another studio and then they take all the credit for them or something. You know what I mean? Like, it happens in the dance world so much.
Okay, so this
Studio
is coming.
hoppers.
Oh.
But I think the whole like loss of Maddie thing, it just made the kids just like step up their game so much. Like, I can't wait for you guys to see the season 7 routines, because I think they're like some of our best routines yet.
Oh, I'm so excited. And they were debating whether or not they were going to actually show season 7. Because,
Really?
Yeah, because of
I don't
everything
know
that's going on.
anything.
Yeah, but it's all right, because obviously if they shoot it, they're probably going to show it. It's just how they edit it,
Right,
I guess.
right.
Have you ever been edited in a way that you weren't pleased about?
I'm rarely like involved in any conflict or anything on this show.
I love it. You're just sitting back like, hey, I'm just going to dance.
That's the one thing. Sometimes what I don't like is they'll just show me like making a face or making like, and I'm like, I said something there, but it's never anything like drama filled or anything that would, you know, make conflict. So it's unnecessary to them.
Gotcha.
Because
gotcha.
anything I say is like about the dancing or about the counts or about the music or about, you know, like
Actual
critiquing
dance?
the girls,
Yeah.
and that's not, you know, that's not what they need.
Yeah,
their-
they want you talking about,
Yeah.
you know, what Jess is
This
saying.
girl
and,
looks bad and this and this.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you just
No,
said,
I can't do that. That's not me.
if you were like Abby and just talking about each of the girls, you need to work on this. You
That would all be on. That would be the whole show.
But no, that's good though. Every time we see you, you're working hard and you're just,
And I feel like I always look like I'm like so like winded. I'm like, but you don't actually see the rehearsal that we're like dancing and rolling on the floor. And
yeah, this isn't 8 a.m.
people
This
always
is-
ask me, they're like, why don't you ever like wear makeup? And I'm like, why am I gonna wear makeup to roll on the floor? No. Like, I'm in a dance rehearsal.
Right.
Like, I'm not a mom like sitting on a bench.
You're working.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like dancing and sweating and So it's just like real, like it's real life to me. I'm not just like, you know, like I said, just sitting there like doing nothing, or like sitting there and hitting play, because I feel like they just show me just like hitting play sometimes.
Sometimes they do. It's okay because you're the peaceful one.
Yeah.
But have you ever been in a situation where people thought you were drama filled because, or have you ever had like this drama affected you in your career?
I don't know. I mean, not that I can like think of.
That's good because I feel like the show has really highlighted so much negativity, but you are kind of like that light and that silver lining there.
I also feel like I've heard so much of it and I've seen so much of it that I'm like this now.
You're like, witch fight?
Like, it doesn't faze me. Or like anything that Abby says, I'm like, I've heard it.
I love it. Does she have the same thing that she keeps saying to everyone?
Yeah.
Or does she come up in a different way sometimes?
No, I pretty much know what she's going to say before she says it.
I love it. Even in this season where there's been so many curveballs.
I feel like they're just hitting us with so... You have no idea. You haven't seen season 7
I
yet.
am so excited. Like, you don't even
Because if you
know.
think season 6 is curveballs, oh my God.
Well, I heard that there's a lot of, you know, studio hopping going
Like-
on in and out, you know, people. There's
Yeah.
the 2 new girls from Abby's show on, I forget what it's called, but it's over the summer. She does all of those like fun, like where she sees all those girls dancing. You know what I'm talking about?
So this summer she auditioned for new kids for
That's
the
it.
team.
Yes.
And she's calling some of them back in.
Okay.
But like 1 week we'll have a girl, for 2 weeks we'll have another girl, we'll bring this girl back. So it's like people in and out every week. And it's funny because girls can be good dancers, but it's completely different to learn a routine in 2 hours and compete it and win
Yeah.
than being a good dancer.
Yeah.
Like the schedule and the way that these girls like work together, just like so fast, is different than, oh, this girl's good, but can she handle doing it like this? Like how fast we do it.
Right. You could be a
So-
great dancer, but you have
But
to.
you can't handle what comes with Dance Moms.
Right. Ooh, that's a quote right there. You can't handle what comes with Dance Moms. I love it though. So, what do you love about LA so far? You've
my
been here
gosh.
for how long now?
I love it. It was always like my dream to live here.
Yeah.
And I just live here when we're filming the show, so I get to go back home when we're off, like, which is so perfect.
When are you off though? Because I feel like
I'm
you're
off
always
next
shooting.
week
Okay,
for 1 week.
1 week. She gets 1 week. When else though are you off? I feel like you're always shooting. Besides Mondays.
Besides Mondays and next week, we're off. So if we take like a mid-season break or something, we're usually off for like 6 or 8 weeks.
Oh, that's
time.
really nice. Okay, because it feels like to me that you're just constantly
We are.
having shows. Like, it's so crazy to me because I've been watching since season 1. And I know, though, it's crazy to think about because, you know, I was in college and just like how I've grown and watching the girls and how they've grown.
gosh.
Like,
Nia's been on since day 1 with me. We always say like we're like the last 2 standing.
the last 2.
And she was like this big.
Yeah. Wait, you just worked on something with Nia
I
recently.
did. She just shot. She did a collaboration song and video with Alex Calise.
Right.
So the girl that sang "Cry," it was like season 1.
With
with
Abby.
with
Or,
Maddie.
Maddie. Yes, with Maddie.
Abby, yes.
Not with Abby. Abby wasn't performing. That
With
would be
Maddie.
something people
And
would
I
watch.
worked on that video too. And now Alex is coming up with a new song, and Nia is actually singing on the track
That's so
and
exciting.
performing in the video. So
Really?
I think it comes out tomorrow.
Ooh.
I think it comes out tomorrow.
Exclusive here. It
Yeah.
comes out. If you like Nia Sue, check it out. No, that's really cool though. So how is Abby still involved in the girls' other lives when they're not dancing?
She is. I don't think that she is as much anymore.
Okay.
As she was, but you know, she's always involved with us. I feel like everything we do and everything, like everywhere we go, it's always like with her.
I don't blame her though too because she.
They're like her kids.
Yeah.
I always tell people like they're like my kids.
Yeah, you're raising them
Yeah.
and bringing them
That's
to their
how she
career.
is too. Yeah.
That's really cute, though. I love that because I feel like so many people just go, all right, you can dance, and then they're out the door.
Yeah. No, she's totally not like that at all.
And here, though, how has everything been different since moving to LA from Pittsburgh? Has anything changed?
I just feel like living in LA is just so different from living in Pittsburgh, and
Oh,
like
really?
the dance scene, the dance studio life.
How is it different?
Just studios in Pittsburgh are just so like, I don't know. I don't want to say blah, but I feel like there's so much more opportunity out here. There's so many more kids like in the industry out here that are working and doing this, and just so many more like things for the kids to do. Like in Pittsburgh, it's just the dance studio.
Okay.
Here, it's like the dance studio and this and that and auditions and music and acting and
Yeah.
you know.
And are you taking advantage of any of that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, like I said before, I teach at the studio after we wrap.
Yeah.
So sometimes.
And what are your goals for the next? I mean, I'm jumping ahead, but I'm just curious. Like,
Oh my
what's
gosh,
next?
I
for
don't
you?
know. I'm definitely going to see Dance Moms out, hopefully, until the end. Like I said, like I've been on it since day one.
I don't blame you.
And I like hate whenever like they bring in other choreographers and I'm like, how do you just get to come in and do this and leave? Like,
just like the dance moms
Yeah.
say, like, come
yeah,
on.
same thing.
Yeah.
Like they just bring in someone. I'm like, you didn't like train these girls day in and day out and then like post everywhere that like you're working with them.
Right.
You know, that's what I can't stand.
Well, they want the followers and they want all of
A
that
lot of
fan
people
base.
do. A lot of kids do too. It's
Oh, so kids,
crazy now.
Kids coming in just for the followers.
I mean, some here and there.
Does Abby have new rules like no selfies or?
No, Abby loves Instagram.
Does she?
If you can't tell.
That's so funny to me.
No, Abby's all about social media. She
Okay.
she likes it.
So she's open then for people to come in, but then she'll test you.
Yeah.
And she'll make sure that you can handle what comes with Dance Moms to be in.
So she's like the first one that sees everything on Instagram.
I love it. So does she have like a process before you come into her studio? Or since you said there's so many kids, not just on the show, but just in general to come in?
There's an audition process. So kids that want to come in, that want to be on the team, like I'll teach them a combination or whatever, and then Abby will come in like when the class is over and like place the kids like where they should be or if they should even be a part of the team and
Wow.
like talk to their parents and like because it is a commitment to be on this competition
A
team.
huge one.
It's a lot of training, a lot of like extra rehearsals, a lot of money,
I
like
could imagine.
costumes, choreography fees, like I said,
Everything.
like rehearsals, everything. So it's a huge commitment.
Wow.
And I think that people just want to be on the team, but don't realize there's a lot that comes with being on the team.
They think it's all glam, like most
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah.
most people, they think it's all glam.
I hate the people that think Dance Moms is all glam.
Nope, smoke and mirrors. It's hard work. So
It is.
I'm just curious though, your life in LA, have you branched out at all and had fun? Is there any place that you love here that you love to go to?
I love LA. I feel like I never eat bad food in LA. Like I
Yeah.
feel like everywhere I go is so good. I love going out. Not that I go out that much, because I feel like call times are always so early on the weekends. Like we compete on Saturdays,
Oh, geez.
so
Yeah.
Friday night is nothing. Can't be
Right.
anything. I'm in bed by like 9:00.
Yeah.
And then we get home from competition Saturday night. I'm dead again.
Yeah.
So no, it's fun. I live kind of like near the Grove, so that's like my go-to shopping. I love Melrose.
Capital. It's like
I-
you have
yeah.
to go there.
Yeah.
Everything. I love
Light
it.
Up Night was last night. There was like fireworks and everything.
Oh, really? Last night there
Yeah.
was? I have to check
So,
that out.
but I'm a
not-
big shopper. That's my thing. Like usually on Mondays I'm like getting my nails done or like going shopping or like me stuff.
Melrose is so fun because they have so many different types of stores. Like you can get like 8 chokers for like $30. They're really cute.
This end of Melrose, not this end.
Well, yeah, that side. I'll stay on that side, not yeah.
And I like this side too, but
Yeah, I like it, but I have to window shop.
have to
I
look,
don't know
just
about
look.
you. I don't know about that lifetime money, but we won't go
I can
there.
buy like one thing maybe.
Yeah, like if you save up, like
Yeah.
that, I get it. But so you're really, really involved then with everything that Abby does. So are you also her like assistant, not just assistant choreographer?
No, well, I wouldn't say assistant. I say that like I do stuff at the studio. I don't do it so much now because we're filming, but I used to create all of her like Instagram ads for like her workshops and stuff, and some of her like web design stuff.
Yeah.
I used to create for her. She'll ask me to like do stuff here and there, but I feel like she knows how busy I am, and she's like afraid to ask me to do stuff sometimes. Not that I won't do it. Of course I'll do it.
Right. That's
But-
why she loves you.
But she knows like when we're filming and like when we're in season to just kind of like let me go, because she knows how much I do like during the day, that at night I kind of just have to go home and like decompress.
I don't blame
And
you.
I want nothing to do with anything.
How many kids do you work with a day?
The show kids, and then I teach like Thursday nights. I teach till like 9 o'clock, so I teach like 6 classes, like in a row, like after we film.
And how long are the classes?
Like 45 or an hour.
Wow. You must be in amazing
Thursdays
shape.
are killer. Oh my gosh.
Like, is this all the exercise you have to do? Are you good?
I go to the gym like rarely.
I feel like you don't need to. Like, you're just on
But
point
I feel
always.
like teaching is different than actually taking the class.
Okay.
So like I'm doing the steps, but not to the extent of the kids.
That makes sense.
Like I'm not doing like switch leaps across the floor.
That would be funny though.
My arms are doing them, but
You'd be on the show doing that, and
Oh
they'd
my
be like,
God.
"What's Gianna doing? This is new. This
yeah,
is totally new."
So I feel like I don't dance as much as I used to because like I'm so into like teaching now. But I like yoga,
Yeah.
and I go to the gym like rarely.
Would you ever go back to dancing or any of that?
Yeah, I love dancing.
Okay.
I always did. It was totally 100% like my passion, at such a young age. And like there was nothing else that I did that could even like come close to, being in this world. So
Do you still take classes?
I haven't in a while. I mean, like if we go to like conventions or stuff, I'll go in like the back of the room and like do the combos. But
Abby doesn't get on you like, "You need to get back in ballet." Like
I
feel like
should
she-
get back in ballet.
like point those feet. I could just see her, and I don't know her.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I know her. I don't know.
And it's so funny because I feel like everyone says that.
Yeah?
Like they're so afraid of her. They're like, I feel like I know her. I'm like, you don't know her.
Like I feel like I wish I knew her when I was like 4, and then who knows what could have happened. I would be like, I don't know. Like that's how I think.
And I feel like people are like so afraid of her. And I'm like, she's not. Well, sometimes she's
On the
scary.
show,
Yeah.
I could see that. So, how involved are you though with everything else, like the business side? Are you doing any of that kind of thing, or
It's funny that people say that because people are always like, when are you going to open up your own dance studio? Or like, when are you going to take over the dance studio?
next question?
And I'm like, you know what? I really like going in, doing my job, and leaving.
yeah, okay,
Because I see what the girls in the office do. Like I see like how involved like the registration stuff, like the bills,
it's a lot of work.
like the time cards, the costume measuring, the costume ordering, the shoes, the tights, and I'm like, oh gosh, no.
You'll stick to the choreography.
Not yet, maybe someday.
Gotcha,
like,
gotcha.
Like when I'm done with LA and probably move back to Pittsburgh at some point, and live there, maybe then. But I'm good right now.
And where did you go to college? Because I noticed that you said that you went to school.
I did. I went to Point Park University. It's
Okay.
it's a liberal arts school in downtown Pittsburgh,
Oh.
and it's actually a big dance school. However, I did not dance there.
Okay,
I have a degree in advertising and PR,
so cool.
so like communications,
Yeah.
and I could just I just have it to fall back on whenever I need to.
And you can never go wrong really with PR and advertising. I have that too.
Yeah, college was like the best 4 years of my life. I don't regret going. Like it was fun.
So how was it doing the show and going to school?
We did it for about a month. I remember getting the call when I was in a government class, like about to take a final, and I like felt like my phone buzzing at my foot, and I looked at my phone, and it was like 323. That's the area code, right out here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, it's Dance Moms. And I'm like, there's a final in front of me, and I was like, I have to go. And I walked up and I left the class and I answered the phone, and it was we got the show. I never took the final.
Oh my gosh! So what happened? What happened to that class?
I guess I passed. I passed.
They were
Obviously,
like, well-
I have my degree, so
Well, I'm just wondering, did they let you take it again, or they're like,
I didn't
no,
go back.
you're
It was like
okay?
the last day.
I
So
love
didn't-
that.
It was fine.
So anyone else in
I
your
knew
class?
I wasn't gonna need that government class.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny to me. Like the little things that you don't know.
Yeah.
Was there anything? So wait, you then did not do the show while you were in school at all. Then you were in school before that.
The first couple episodes, you don't see me in the rehearsals because I only went on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Because the reason that all happened was I used to take the kids to competition. Like I would do their hair, I would warm them up, I would turn in their music. And I can remember Melissa being like, or I don't know, telling whoever, Gia takes all the kids to competition. We can't go to a dance competition without her. You know, like she makes sure the kids are ready, like to go on stage. Like Abby's always there, but I'm the one like backstage or like, you know, stretching their leg up on the wall, you know, like getting them ready. And so that's how I got into the whole thing.
Wow.
So in the first like few episodes, I'm just at the competition because I was still in school.
See, I didn't know that either. I remember seeing you,
And then
obviously.
I think we went on the road the second half of season 1, like that summer. They told us to pack for 6 weeks. They didn't know where we were going. We were going to be on the road for 6 weeks. Wow. And that's when I started like full time with the show.
So at that time, Abby had so many kids under her. So how did she pick her specific people to have on the show?
I think what it was, I don't know for sure. Everyone auditioned, like from the studio.
Okay.
And production picked these kids. She didn't pick. It was through the show.
Okay.
Because they had, I guess, like around the same age, like the kids that were all around the same age that had the most moms that they liked.
Oh.
Because that group was like the craziest at that time.
Right. At that time.
Yeah.
And then you had plenty more come in that we see.
Yes.
I love that so much because it's like a guilty pleasure, you know.
For
all the-
everyone. I feel like everyone says that.
Yeah, and you do watch the show?
I don't watch the show. I've seen the show. If it's like Tuesday night and I'm home, I'll put it on. It like reruns like all night on Tuesdays. I think my mom watches every episode for like 5 hours on Tuesdays, and but I just like YouTube the dances or something, and then I see like a horrible cut of the routine or like a bad angle of a jump, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, that's a big thing that I constantly say. I'm like, you know, I wish that you could see everyone dance. They kind of zoom in.
You should see me complain about how they edit the routines.
Yeah.
Like the music is sometimes like a count or like a count and a half off from the steps. And I'm like, you're ruining my dances.
Oh, no.
In season 1 and season 2, it used to be so bad to the point where it would say like, I don't know, something flying, and then they had the girls like on the floor.
What?
And I'm like, you're ruining my dances. I would never have them doing floor work if it was talking about flying.
So did you
And
say
so
anything
I
to
complained
production?
and I complained and I complained. And it's gotten better.
Good.
But it's still sometimes there's like a count off or like a half a count, like a hair off.
So it's not the girls, because I watch and I
No.
go, they were a little bit off.
Or like if you see a song that you're like, this does not even go with these moves because they don't.
Oh. So then I guess they probably just play it over. They don't even record.
They used to, because I edit the music, because like what's a song like 3 minutes, like 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, for competition, we do 2 minutes. So I edit the songs down to 2 minutes, and sometimes in the beginning they would just use the full version of the song. So it would be parts in the music that we didn't even use. And I was like, oh my God, you're ruining my dances.
Well, there's a lot of times,
So it's gotten better though, thank you.
Really, really happy about that because I noticed that a lot. And then when the
And
minis
people
come
were like
out,
commenting on it, and I was like, it's not me, like, you know.
well, they think it is
Yeah.
though,
Oh,
because
you should see what kids think. I'm like, where do you come up with all this?
well, yeah, our reality is what we see. So if you see it, then that's what you think is the
Right.
real truth.
I know. That's what's so crazy to me. And that's why I hate like reading stuff on Instagram or like comments on YouTube about dances. And it's like a lot of times we don't pick the routines.
Right.
We don't pick the music. Like if so-and-so has a solo, it's because of whatever conflict happened the week before.
Oh no.
Or like if two kids are in a duet together that we wouldn't necessarily put together, it's because their moms were fighting that week.
So it is connected.
It's all connected.
So it's not
much.
Abby. It's
No.
Lifetime doing.
I
the
mean,
whole
like
thing. Okay.
Abby and I will push back here and there, and if like there's a theme or a song that we really just don't want to do, like there's been one that they've been trying to give us this year that I'm like, the kids are just too old to do that now. You know, they're like teens now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're not gonna do. I'm not gonna say what the routine was, but I'm like, they're not gonna win with that. Like that's not a competition piece. It's like a performance piece.
Oh, was that in the episode that
No,
we just
no.
saw? Okay, because that was the issue in last episode.
Which, oh wait, we've talked about the last episode.
Okay.
After this.
Okay, we can.
But and so we do push back sometimes, but we don't have that much say in what the routines are, in who's in the routines, who has solos for that week. It's a lot from production.
Well, I was going to ask you too. A lot of people say in our chat and comments that we have when I do the show that, you know, like let's say JoJo and Kendall had a solo. Well, they only showed that week that JoJo had a solo, and they didn't even touch on Kendall at all.
Because there was probably not enough conflict or not enough story around Kendall doing a solo. Like, and when they do that, in my mind, I'm like, yes, we can do that one again. If they don't air it, we just recompete it. We've done that a couple times.
Oh, all right, all right.
So I get lucky sometimes.
So before you were saying that Abby has so many kids doing competitions, and sometimes you had a ton of people in your actual competitions, would they all do similar routines, or how different were all the routines?
No, everything was so different.
Okay.
I know like contemporary and like lyrical is like a big thing now.
Yeah.
And that's probably like my strongest thing to choreograph. So I tend to do pieces like that, but no, she'd kill me if they were all the same.
Does she actually do a lot of the choreography, or is she a lot of the business side now?
She does a lot of, so like I said, like on Tuesdays, like tomorrow, I'll go in and sit in a meeting with her, and she'll say, I want this, and this in the routine, and they're gonna wear this, and then I'll kind of take that and run with it.
So she'll lay it out like
and
the
then
groundwork.
she'll come in and be like, I hate that, change that part, or she'll be like, they have to end in a line, they have to end on the floor, and I'll kind of just take what she says and do my thing with it.
Well, that's really great that she gives you guidance. You're like, okay, then I can get creative.
Or sometimes I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know like where we're going with this piece. And she'll throw in like a few things, and I'm like, okay, good, thank you. Like, I'm good now.
Oh, nice. Yeah. She's like training you, like she's
so
trained
she
her
always
girls.
has her like, little bits in the routine.
Okay.
But I'm the one I feel like doing like the grunt work and figuring out the counts and all the steps, and she'll come in and just kind of put her like flair on stuff.
And do you do this with all of the teams, or is it just the Dance Moms?
We have a lot of other faculty members teaching the other kids too at the studio.
Okay.
So we probably have a faculty of like 10 or 12.
Wow.
And a few of them actually grew up like me, grew up dancing under Abby, and now teach for her. I think there's 3 of us that work at the LA studio that trained under her.
Oh, that's awesome. So is anyone back in Pittsburgh, or does she say, everyone pack up, we're all going to LA?
Well, those two, the 2 I'm talking about, they were a little younger than me. They moved out here at 18.
Okay, so they were already here.
And I think pretty much all of us are out here now.
Right, okay. Well, this is where a lot of work is.
So that's like all like opportunity. Everything that we're doing is out here now.
That just makes sense. I mean, that's basically why everyone's out here.
Yeah.
Would you actually move here? You mentioned that you go back to Pittsburgh.
I think for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not going to be forever, because I don't think you can live in LA forever.
Yeah, especially if you grew up in Pittsburgh and there's certain
My
values.
whole family is on the East Coast, and I'm really close with them.
Yeah.
So I'll go back there eventually, but I think now, like, I need to be here.
Yep, you got to get your career going. And have you ever thought of going to other studios and start doing choreography?
I do travel and teach, not as frequently as I would like to.
Okay.
But like I have been setting pieces for other people occasionally.
Okay.
And probably more so in like teaching for like conventions or like judging and stuff after the show's over.
Oh, that would be cool. Being a judge, you'd know everything.
Yeah.
You're like, no. You'd be the new Abby.
I have seen it all, trust me. I have been to so many dance competitions.
I bet. Like, how long have you actually been competing for?
Whenever I danced, you couldn't join the team until you were 10.
Oh.
So I joined I got my letter in the mail that I had made the Abby Lee Dance Company when I was 10, and my mom was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "I'm doing it. I don't know. I'm doing it." Little did she know.
It would change both your lives. So your mom, she wasn't drama filled at all. She seemed super supportive.
She was always like at competition, but she would just sit in the back and like, oh, you were great. Like if you lost, you were great.
Did your mom ever find herself in the middle of any type of mom drama?
I can remember there definitely being mom drama in my group. Like I can just hear it, I can see them, but I don't think it ever involved my mom. Not so much that I can remember.
Probably she would just let it blow over and just focus on you.
Yeah, she didn't really care that much about it.
So I see now in the show, there's all the moms and they try to involve and drag moms in.
And like I think my mom never had to push me to dance, or like push me to want to be better or work harder, because I was already doing that for myself.
Yeah.
So she was never like one of those moms that were like, go run your solo, go run your dance. Like, that wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that these moms are kind of not forcing their kids, but living vicariously through?
I think in the beginning they were.
Yeah, okay. Just wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see it with Melissa, and that's maybe why the girls have been so successful.
Right. Yeah, because Melissa, like, she always said, she's like, I know nothing about dance.
Yeah. And Abby, what Abby says goes.
Right. That's how my mom was.
Yeah.
And then, so I guess she was the Melissa. And then there are some moms that's like, they're like, go back and, like, do that again. Like, that leg wasn't high enough. Like, how do you know?
Well, yeah, the moms
Like, you're saying the
think,
completely wrong term. You sound ridiculous.
well, they think, you know, certain things work, like we saw with the costumes, and, you know, they think all
Yeah.
of these things when you don't see visually or in the big,
Right. That's not
realm
their
of things.
job.
Right. And Abby looks at things, and that's why when I see her go, okay, well, you just do it then if you think.
If you think, you know, like, and like, my mom always said, I keep talking about her, but my mom's like, if I'm paying someone to do this, like, I'm going to pay them because they know what they're doing.
Right. That's why you go to
Yeah,
the ALDC,
yeah.
is because she's had
Right.
been so successful.
Yeah.
So I read somewhere, though, that you went to audition every year. Was that at the Radio City Music Hall? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you would go to New York always every
Abby
year?
would always take us, probably like when we were like 12 or 13, starting, and Abby would take a bunch of us to auditions in New York because Pittsburgh is like, what, like 6 hours from New York, and if there was ever like a show audition or whatever, we'd get in her red Hummer at 2 in the morning.
Wait, what year was this?
I was probably like 13,
Okay, so
maybe
2000
12.
Okay, so 2003, 2002.
Because we were little. And
Her
we'd
red
get in her
Hummer.
red Hummer, and like we'd have like our suitcases and our pillows, and she'd drive us to New York all through the night. We'd get there at 8 a.m. We'd go into like some deli bathroom and change, and like do our hair. And we'd go to the audition. We'd, you know, get cut or stay the whole day, and then go home that night and go to school the next day.
See, not glamorous.
No.
Not glamorous at all.
No.
But you got things done.
Yeah, and it was so fun too.
And how many people were on your team back then?
It was like these kids, like 5 or 6, 7
Okay.
maybe at the most. We had a bigger group, I remember, but there was like 5 or 6 of us that kind of were her like special, like small group.
Gotcha. Okay, because right now we're down to 4 girls.
Somehow we have 7 now. 8 this week. 8 this past week.
Really? And so people come in,
Oh
they
my gosh,
come
yeah,
out.
you guys are down to 4.
We're down to 4 right now. We have no JoJo.
Yes, and we have, if you notice, we have no me last week.
Why weren't you there?
I
Where were you?
1 week off for my birthday to go on vacation.
Wait, that's why it was all crazy.
I went to a wedding, so I didn't do the dances.
That's why Abby had a breakdown.
That's why everyone left, because I left.
Wow.
And so I come back, and I literally like walk into the meeting on Tuesday. I'm like, where are the kids? I'm like, where's everyone? And then our producer's like, well,
Wow.
I literally had no idea.
So that stuff
I was
really
in
is
Chicago
real.
for the week.
Oh, that's where I'm from.
I was in a wedding, or I wasn't in. I was at a wedding in Michigan, and then I went to Chicago for the rest of the weekend, like for my birthday. And I come back on Tuesday, and I'm like, why is there no one here?
So I'm shocked that stuff is actually real, though. That people just, you know, walk off, and I
don't
thought
know.
it's fake.
That was pretty crazy, because usually if people leave, or usually if people get mad, like production's like, okay, well, see you tomorrow. Or like, go sit in the hallway, see you tomorrow. Or,
Right.
like, see you next week.
Yeah, like Christy went
yeah.
back in those.
Or
I
like
call
Jill
them-
like walks out a lot and then they're back. Or like,
Right.
you know, Holly will like walk out of Pyramid and then be back the next day.
Right.
So, but this one, I guess I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I guess it was really bad.
It was bad.
But I also heard like 18 different sides of what actually happened that day.
Ooh.
Like it's Abby's side, the mom side, the kid side, production side. So
Gotcha. What's a side that you could just share?
I'm sure it was all nonsense, first of all.
Yeah, the kids probably have a complete different idea
Yeah.
than what Abby does.
So I don't know. But
a lot of times, you know, the moms scream and swear in front of the girls, and I'm wondering, does that happen a lot?
no, and here's what happens. When that happens, we remove the kids immediately from the situation.
Okay.
So we have like our set tutor, or our the tutors that the girls do school with, and then we have like talent coordinators, and they take the kids immediately out of the room.
Okay.
Which is terrible for me because then that stops rehearsal.
Yeah.
Like, and then we get less time to rehearse. So every time that there's like a big blowout, I'm like, can you not today? Like we have so much to get done. Please don't fight today.
And with the mini moms, it's like constant.
And
It's just they don't end.
And the other thing, like about that, is when the moms are fighting, we can't play our music.
Oh, that's right. So
Like,
you can't even
like for audio reasons, like stuff that like people like wouldn't think of. But the audio guys are like, we can't have moms talking and music playing at the same time. Like, it doesn't work. And so if there's conflict, like we have to stop down from rehearsal.
Wow.
So that's less time again for us to rehearse. So that's like what people don't even have, have no idea.
Yeah, you wouldn't think about that kind of stuff. And then the moms kind of, I don't know, maybe they do it on purpose so that the mini moms will start something so that the big girls.
I can see that.
See, you just gotta think ahead. I don't know.
Crazy.
I bet Abby is just like, she can time it. She's like, all right, someone's gonna say something.
Well, it's so funny because Abby's like, if I really wanted to make a kid cry, she's like, I could. She's like, I just want to get these dances done. She's like, just wait until tomorrow.
I know what makes a kid cry.
Oh God, yeah.
So what is the real punishment though when kids cry? Because
There's just like for her, I think it's just like there's no time for it. They're like, if you're going to be on this team, you have to be tough. You have to be able to take criticism and work harder. Like there's no time to be a crybaby on this team.
No,
that's for kids that just like go to dancing school. You know, if you're going to be on this team, you're going to work.
You're going to work and then you're going to get work after.
Yeah, you're going to be successful because of it.
Well, like Kalani, she's 15 now, and she's basically where you were when you were deciding when you wanted to be a choreographer.
I feel like these kids never had like awkward stages or like teenage years. Like they're all just like so pretty.
Can we just talk about that?
I know.
Like, I didn't have legs like that. I was a dancer, did not have legs like that. And we have the chat rolling. Oh my gosh. Hi guys. Everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, everyone's excited. Please talk to us. I didn't know that we had the chat rolling. So say whatever you can and ask Gianna questions.
Yeah, ask me whatever. I'll try to tell you whatever I can.
Oh, do you do tap or do you you do?
I had a tap like trio once. Like I was in like the tap like special group.
Ooh. I love that. I love when tap
because
comes
like we
in.
had to do everything, we didn't have an option, which obviously benefited us in the long run.
Okay.
But like we had to take everything.
And for you, I'm just wondering, I know that you do now with everything with Nia, and then you do everything, you helped Maddie, and you've helped so many people, but there's so many different types of choreography. There's TV choreography, there's
Dance competition choreography.
Right. So what's your favorite type of choreography to do?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like I'm so into competition choreography now. They're probably that, but I feel like people don't realize that I do other stuff, like video choreography, like commercial choreography, like performance choreography,
Well, of course, you're under Abby, so she'll make sure that you're well-rounded.
But I feel like I'm so involved in right now in dance competition choreography.
Okay, all right. And is there anything that's essential that needs to be in every dance competition choreography?
I don't know.
No.
Drama.
Well, not for TV.
Something dramatic.
Gotcha. So
a nice fan kick.
Okay, all right. Just curious.
A nice leg.
So, is there anything about this show that you want people to know that hasn't been told?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I just told you everything.
Well, I haven't looked at my notes once, but I can literally, I think we probably covered everything. Oh, I thought it was interesting, the 11:11 thing that you do on Twitter.
I always do that.
I'm a big 11:11 person. I always love to, just tell people and make a wish. What do you do? What do you mostly wish for?
I can't tell you, but you have to touch something blue and make a wish.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
How do you know that?
Well, so I started that with one of my best friends. His name is James. He's a choreographer and dancer too. He used to teach at the studio with me. So we have like G&J. That's like our thing.
Oh, that's cute.
And we always did 11:11. So it was like us that kind of started it. But yeah, we always do touch something blue and make a wish.
little background,
Yeah.
and now I'll touch something blue. So let's see if there's anything. What's your favorite style? Someone wants to know.
Probably like lyrical and contemporary.
Lyric. Okay.
Kind of like what you always see, like I don't know, like Maddie do, or like or like what our winning like groups are.
Okay, gotcha.
But we can't do that every week because to a viewer that's not a dancer, that's boring.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know,
Yeah.
they want to see all styles of dance.
Yeah, a little
So.
hip hop. Everyone likes hip hop.
Yeah.
And everyone likes to see it different
Yeah.
every week. So that makes sense.
Or like, oh, they're doing the same dances. Well, what you don't realize is that's what wins dance competitions.
Right. So
So.
sometimes they'll win,
Yeah.
sometimes they won't. And I heard that Ed Westwick is your crush. So I'll tell you a little LA inside scoop. I know Ed. And the thing...
Is he like here somewhere?
No. If I could get him, I probably would. This is last minute that I saw
I
it.
don't look that cute today.
No, of course though. No, you look gorgeous, and we're matching.
I just got so nervous. Okay.
No. He's not coming in. I'll tell you that right now. But he does every Friday go to Warwick. So if you,
Okay.
yeah,
I haven't been there, but I know where it is.
yeah. So if you got competition the next day, maybe if you want to do an all-nighter, he's usually there.
I'm totally gonna go this Friday because we have a local competition this week.
There you go, Ed.
Is he cool?
He's cool. We could talk after, but he's
Okay.
he's very cool. Any last questions, you guys?
Oh, that one. Do you still keep in touch with the Zigglers?
Zigglers.
I just talked to Melissa this morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I do.
good.
I went to the Sia tour, and
Really?
I went backstage, and they like wouldn't like let us back. And Maddie was like, "No, she's like, that's my dance teacher." She's like, "I need her."
Aw.
Yeah, so I do see them a lot and stuff.
What's your favorite part of this show and what it's brought to you?
Probably just that it's still going, and that more kids are dancing because of it. Like dance is getting so big now. Like dance is on TV, dance is all over social media. Like
That's a good point.
just like dance is getting huge in
It
the world, and I
is.
feel like Dance Moms has a huge part in that.
Well, I was talking to a lot of my dance friends, and growing up, I grew up in South Side of Chicago, but it is a big city. But you would always look at New York or LA, and so many people don't realize the what you can be and what you're capable of. And this little studio in Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
killing
in Penn
it.
Hills, like.
Yeah, killing it with these amazing dancers. And, growing up, they told you that you really couldn't be like that yet. That was for the older girls.
Yep.
So it's just amazing. I think a lot of people see, a lot of little girls see, wow, they can
Like,
do that at
right,
8.
right.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that totally.
No, I'm glad you touched on that because I completely forgot. And it's
It's just
a huge
opening
deal.
up dance to so many people now. So.
Yeah. And it wasn't on TV. In the
Never.
early 2000s, no.
Well, like So You Think You Can Dance was like
The first
the
one.
first show, and that was over 18, so that wasn't even kids.
Right. That was, I think that started in like 2006 or 2007. So it was like,
Abby had a girl on the show. Yeah,
really?
once. Uh-huh.
Who was it?
Miranda Molesky. I don't know what season she did. She made the top 20. Like she was on the live shows.
Oh, that's
You'll
so
have to
cool.
look it up. Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah, me too.
And we love Dance Moms. So, Gianna, tell everyone where they can find you on all social medias.
You guys can find me on Twitter, Gia with 2 A's, Bella. Instagram at gmartello22, and then I believe Facebook official Gianna Martello.
Ooh, Facebook official.
And there's a ton that aren't really me, so make sure it's actually me.
Yeah, right. All the people
There's a
trying
bunch
to be
of like
you.
12-year-olds trying to be me, but
Of course. Why wouldn't they try to be you? So, and anything else that we can look for in the future? That video's coming out tomorrow.
The video's coming out tomorrow. Season 7 is crazy.
Ooh.
I think that season 7 has some of the best routines we've ever done. I can tell you that one of them got a perfect score, a 300. It's the first time that's ever happened.
Ever in the history of Dance
It's the
Moms?
first ALDC group dance that's gotten a 300 since my competition group.
Oh, excuse me, Miss
Yeah.
Maddie. All right.
Since my team. So yeah, there's some really, really good stuff coming up.
And will we see 7B?
Hopefully.
Hopefully?
Hopefully,
All
because I
right.
want to stay in LA. So
Fingers
hopefully.
crossed. We want you to stay in LA. And I'm Jennifer Leone. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV. And please follow AfterBuzz TV as well. Give us a 5 stars and a thumbs up. Comment. Tell me what you think, and we'll be tweeting back and forth. So any other questions that you have, just send them my way. And I will see you tomorrow for another review of Dance Moms on AfterBuzz TV.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.